And you're back with the news.
UNP parliamentarian Sajid Premadasa, speaking at an event held in Hambantota today, spoke on the supremacy of the people.
විධායක ජනාධිපති ක්‍රමය අහෝසි කරනවායි කිය 94 කිව්වේ මෝඩයාගේ දවසේ අප්‍රේල් 1 වෙනිදාට විදුලි ගාස්තු නංවන අලුත් අවුරුද්දට.
A false promise was made in 94 that the executive presidency would be abolished. I propose that the common people in this country rally to abolish the corrupt and short-sighted executive system that would increase electricity tariffs on April Fool's Day, that would increase the cost of goods and water tariffs at the new year, and create a people's movement that will bring about an era where the crown is placed on the heads of the people.
මේ නින්දිත දුර්දාන්ත විධායක ක්‍රමය අහෝසි කරන්නට මේ රටේ සමස්ත සාමාන්‍ය ජනතාව පෙළගැසෙමුයි කියලා මම යෝජනා කරනවා.
The MP made this comment at an event held in the Kudagam Manahaya area in Veeravilla. MP Sajid Premadasa presented interest-free loans to self-employed women in the area.
The Supreme Court today granted permission for the Urban Development Authority to go ahead with a development project on a 7-acre plot of land in Slave Island. This was revealed when the fundamental rights petition filed citing that the residents would lose their homes as a result of the project was taken up for consideration today. The petition was taken up before a 3-judge bench comprising of Chief Justice Mohan Piris and Justices P. A. Ratnaika and Priyasad Depp.
Attorney-at-Law Sujiva Senasinghe appeared on behalf of the petitioners when the petition was taken up today. Attorney-at-Law Senasinghe had informed court that he was disappointed with the proceedings of the case. At this instance, the court asked if both parties would like to reach a settlement. Attorney-at-Law Sujiva Senasinghe, who expressed his opposition over the move, attempted to leave the court premises. A tense situation arose at that time. President's counsel Sanjeev Vijayawardena, appearing on behalf of the Urban Development Authority, informed court that they had agreed to provide the 317 residents alternative housing on rent. He added that another 164 residents had requested more time to take a decision to obtain compensation after estimating the value of their houses. The bench informed the Urban Development Authority to go ahead with the proposed project and informed court that the petition would be taken up again on the 4th of April.
දැනට අපි යම්කිසි ජයග්‍රහණයක් අත් කරගෙන තියෙනවා පුද්ගලයන්ට ඉන්න පුද්ගලයන්ට සියලුම දෙනාට තමන් ඉන්න.
We have achieved some sort of victory. They have promised to give these people flats which will have a similar area to their current residences. In addition, we asked for a reasonable rent amount, but there has been no settlement on this. As lawyers, we cannot reach a settlement until the needs of these people are met. I am fighting for the people.
පත් වෙන්නේ නැහැ මොකද මේ ජනතාවගේ ඉල්ලීම් සම්පූර්ණ අපිට සමතේ වෙන්න බෑ නීතිජෝරු වශයෙන්. ඉතින් මම සටන් කරන්නේ ජනතාව වෙනුවෙන්.
අපි බලනවා මේ මාසයේ ඇතුළත මේ හැම දිනාටම නිවේදන.
We hope to make an announcement within the month and notify all these people of the agreement. We hope to sign these agreements within the month. We will also provide them with 2 years rent within a month.
කරුවන්ට ලබා දෙනවා කුලිය මුදල අවුරුදු 2ක එකවරට.
The Water Supply and Drainage Board says that a 12-hour water cut will be in effect from 10 to night in several areas of Colombo as a result of urgent renovation work on the main pipeline. Thereby, the water supply to Kotahena Madhampitiya, Grand Pass, Blumendal Road, Layards Broadway, Kotuvilla and Sedawatta will be disrupted. And up next is Action TV.
Last Sunday, Action TV revealed that the Central Province Chief Minister had laid the foundation for a task undertaken by all other provincial councils except the Eastern Provincial Council more than a decade ago, at a time when the dissolution of the Central Provincial Council in view of fresh elections is imminent. The task in question is the passing of a Provincial Rural Development Convention in accordance with the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. The Chief Minister addressed this letter to the Secretary to the subject ministry, requesting him to take the necessary steps for the tabling of such a convention against a backdrop where it has been almost 25 years since the provincial councils were established and bureaucracy and the negligence of politicians have severely affected the workings of the Central Provincial Rural Development Department. Last Sunday, Action TV also revealed a responsibility on the part of the Governor of the Central Province in the passing of the Rural Development Convention in accordance with the steps laid down by the Chief Minister in this letter, penned in the latter part of his third term as Chief Minister. The responsibility highlighted by Action TV was the need for the Governor to annul an unprocedural appointment made by him to the position of Director of the Central Province Rural Development Department. Action TV pointed out that in addition to being unprocedural, the appointment was also similar to granting birth certificates to unborn children. Because in spite of the fact that the Department of Rural Development is invalid by virtue of there being no Rural Development Convention, the governor has acted under the impression that there is a director for the department.
According to information provided by Action TV, I investigated the matter. The Rural Development Convention will be presented by this May to the Provincial Council and it will be passed. After that, this Act will be implemented. I must especially mention that there were many shortcomings in the Rural Development Department.
After the Central Province Rural Development Convention is passed in May in accordance with the 13th Amendment to the Constitution and the relevant conventions of the other provincial councils, the position of Director of the Central Province Rural Development Department will have to go to a senior, qualified official of the Rural Development Service. The Auditor General has pointed out financial embezzlement undertaken by the official from the Sri Lanka Administrative Service who currently holds this position, which took place while he was the acting director of the department.
I gave him the position of acting director and I confirmed it. I have a responsibility to take action against officials who do not work properly. I will never give them promotions, but I have not received any audit report pertaining to any malpractice.
Active public representatives of the UNP charge that the current leader of the UNP has dissolved the Buddhist base of the party.
මේ UNP එකේ ඉන්න UNP එක වෙනුවෙන් සටන් කරන UNP එකේ ජනතාවට වැඩ කරන අපිට UNP එකේ පක්ෂ මූලස්ථානය ඇතුළටවත් යන්න විදියක් නැහැ. ඒක නිසා මිත්‍රෝනි අද අපි කියන්නේ මේකයි. එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ නායක රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මැතිතුමා මේ ගමන යන්න හදන්නේ බෞද්ධ ජනතාව අමතක කරලා. මේ ගමන බෞද්ධ ජනතාව අමතක කරලා යන්න බෑ.
People like us who are in the UNP, who have fought for the UNP and have worked for the people in the UNP, can't even step inside the UNP headquarters. Friends, that is why we say this. The UNP leader is trying to go on this path for getting the Buddhists. This time, the Buddhist people cannot be forgotten. Now look, the chief prelate of the Ramana Nikaya, Venerable Napane Premasiri, presented his credentials. When these credentials were presented, when this national event that happened at Independence Square, this country's opposition leader couldn't even attend it. A number of leaders from the government opposition were present at the event. Yet, Ranil Wickremesinghe couldn't attend. What was he doing at that time? Watching the match. Even after the match was over, he couldn't attend the function. The constitution states that Buddhism will be protected. Even as this is so, Ranil Wickremesinghe and Tissa Thanayaka are trying to disregard this and take this forward, which is why for 19 consecutive years, the UNP remains defeated.
මැච් එක ඉවර වෙලත් මෙතුමාට මේ වගේ ජාතික උත්සවයකට යන්න හැකියාවක් තිබුණේ නැහැ. අද ව්‍යවස්ථාවේ බුද්ධ ආගම ආරක්ෂා කරනවා කියලා ව්‍යවස්ථාවේ සටහන් වෙලා තියෙනවා. එහෙම තියෙද්දි අද රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්මයා තිස්සත් නායක මහත්මයාලා කිසිම සැලකිල්ලක් දක්වන්නේ නැතුව මේක ඉස්සරහට ගෙනියන්න හදනවා. ඒ නිසා තමයි දිගින් දිගටම අවුරුදු 19ක් එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂය පෙරදිලා තියෙන්නේ කියන එකත් අපි මතක් කරන්න ඕනේ.
Residents of Bambukulia Katana charge that sand mining on the southern bank of the Ma Oya is causing damage to surrounding lands. Our reporter says that certain individuals are engaged in sand mining adjacent to the Bambukulia water purification plant.
This is the Bambukulia Water Purification Center, which comes under the National Water Supply and Drainage Board. Our cameras managed to capture the manner in which sand was being mined from the Ma Oya in close proximity to the water purification plant. Vessels used to transport the sand had also been anchored on the riverbank. Sand mining in the area has resulted in the erosion of the banks of the river. Because of the sand mining, the banks are being washed away. This has been happening for close to a year. So far, this estate has lost a quarter acre of land. Complaints have been lodged with the police. The police arrived here on several occasions. They witnessed how sand is being mined here. They are mining sand from the center of the river. When the police arrives, they go to the opposite bank of the river. When we made inquiries from the Katana Divisional Secretary KJHR Kirialla, he said that he could not comment on the matter. Our camera also captured this footage of several JCB units used in sand mining which had been impounded by the police.
When News First made inquiries, the police media spokesperson office said a group had been arrested for illegal sand mining on the southern bank of the Maoya and were produced in court.
The police are yet to make an arrest into the hand grenade attack in Thisamaharam last night that claimed the life of one person. The police stated that they have identified the suspect but that they have fled the area. 5 others were injured in the attack.
A hand grenade was hurled at around 11:30 last night in the Suduboku area in Uduvila, Thisamaharama. The police suspect that a group heading back from a funeral may have been the target. The police suspect that a long-standing dispute between the two factions may have resulted in the hand grenade attack. The police media spokesperson's office said that the suspect who hurled the hand grenade has also fired several rounds. 6 people initially sustained injuries in the incident and were admitted to the Hambantota General Hospital. One of the injured later succumbed to his injuries. He was identified as 26-year-old N.G. Roshan from Akkarasuwa in Uduvila.
Farmland in Sigiriya under threat from wild elephants. News First witnesses the threat firsthand at night. News First reports on the matter on a second occasion. The only motorcycle possessed by the Sigiriya Wildlife Office is not functioning. Shouldn't the authorities focus attention on providing wildlife officers with sufficient facilities, at least now?
Yet another News First workshop was held at the St. Joseph's Balika Vidyalaya in Grand Pass.
The 82nd workshop organized by News First was held at St. Joseph's Girls College in Grand Pass. The objective of these workshops is to hone the communication skills of students. Students were also given the opportunity to showcase their talents.
We learned a lot about communication through this program. This program has taught the children a lot about the media industry, and I believe that it will help them moving forward.
News First U reporter Arulanandam Imbaraj from Batik Law filed this report on an accident which occurred in the Punana area yesterday.
An accident occurred last afternoon when a train collided with a cab in Punane, Barikalo. The train had been plying from Barikalo to Mahava. The driver of the cab, who was seriously injured in the accident, is being treated at the ICU of the Polonnaruwa hospital.
You reported Mattakalapilende Arulanandam Imbaraj.
A 2-day workshop on the development of entrepreneurial skills organized by the National Youth Services Council concluded at the Sri Lanka Youth Auditorium in Maharagama yesterday. The closing ceremony of the workshop, organized in view of Commonwealth Day, which was marked yesterday, was graced by several dignitaries, including the Deputy High Commissioner of the UK in Sri Lanka, Robbie Bullock. Certificates were presented at this event to young men and women from across the island who participated in the workshop. The theme of this year's Commonwealth Day was Opportunity Through Enterprise.
On to cricket now. Sri Lanka and Bangladesh played out a high-scoring stalemate in their first test at Galle today, equaling the record for the highest number of centuries scored in a test by registering 8 tons. Although the match ended in a draw, the Galle pitch, known to be a bowler's delight in the recent past, turned out to be the opposite, with 1,613 runs scored over the course of 5 days.
Dilshan and Sangakkara then batted solid.
After mammoth totals of 570 by Sri Lanka in their first innings and 638 runs by Bangladesh in reply, the home team declared their second innings on 335 for 4, setting the visitors a target of 268 on day 5 today.
Dilshan moves to 3 figures, his 16th Test match 100, his 4th against
Tilakaratne Dilshan made 126 runs, while Kumar Sangakkara became the 5th Sri Lankan to register twin centuries as he followed up his first innings 142 with 105 runs.
Fourth versus Bangladesh, 41st.
Debutant Kitwan Vidanage made 59 runs as Mahmudullah bagged 3 wickets for the visitors.
pulled away really hard.
Chasing 268, Bangladesh were on 70 for 1 when the captains of both sides called off the day, ending the first test in a draw. The second test is scheduled for the 16th of March at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo.
A test match that's really been drenched in runs.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of your Primetime News Bulletin. Thanks a lot for joining us. I'm Shen Silva.
And I'm Sonali Manikbadage. Good night.
News.